All right. How's everyone doing today? This is Gary Lloyd with Revenue Busters, coming to you live from my office. Actually, the other gentlemen are not with us. Will and Christian are doing other things, but I came upon some some Amazon information. Actually, you know what? I'm doing this also to practice getting used to talking in this format on video because it is something that I have never done before and I have not done a lot. So we are going to practice that, but also I'm going to give you some good nuggets on and information on Amazon, why we chose Amazon to be our first business that we are going to build and either build and hopefully make some good money and turn into a reliable income source, or we are going to bust it. And hey, maybe it's harder than it is, and it's too much trouble, and it's just too hard to maintain. And actually, it's a business that where you create more of a job and you're just spending so many hours trying to make pennies and nickels instead of actually creating a business that will actually free your time and give you more time and money to do the things that you want to do and whatnot. So, hey, if I'm also getting used to looking at the camera and then there's also the video in front of your screen, looking at yourself. So I'm looking at myself, but my camera's up here. So sometimes that gets a little crazy. I got to remember to put eye contact in there. We'll see how it looks after I'm done here. So hopefully it'll turn out good. And I will get used to this as I do it more, hopefully. Well, they say that's what happens. So I did. We are using Google Hangouts. It seems like a cool platform that you can do these recordings on, bring other people on. You can also share your screen and talk about stuff as you're doing it. So I did have some notes and some research that I did on the Amazon FBA or Fulfillment by Amazon is what FBA stands for. That I want to share with you, and bear with me. I I do like technology and I play with it all the time, but a lot of times it takes a little bit to figure it out. So I'm gonna be figuring it out as we go along as well. So up in the left hand corner on Google Hangouts, there's a little share screen, and it brings up. I'm not even sure if you guys are able to see that, but it kind of brings up where you can share your entire screen or just an application window. I'm going to pick application window, and I am going to do the looks like you got to pick whether you want the Google Hangout screen or the notes. So I'm going to hit the notes and hit share. Now, to me, that looks like it brought up the Amazon information that I researched, and so I'm just going to be talking from these points, and then I'll kind of come back and forth. Anyways, so why or what is Amazon FBA? Amazon FBA is, as I stated, fulfillment by Amazon. So actually, from their website, I found this actually in one of their YouTube videos that shares exactly what Amazon FBA is. So they give it a definition as Amazon's created one of the most advanced fulfillment networks in the world, and your business can benefit from our expertise. With FBA, you will store your products in Amazon fulfillment centers, and we will pick, pack, ship, and provide customer service for these products. So that is their definition. I didn't know this, but as well, but it started back in September 19th, 2006. Um, and that was a while ago. I thought it was a little bit more recent, maybe 2012, maybe like 6 years later. But I guess it did not become popular in the mainstream, which we'll kind of hit here in a little bit, and start to being used by multiple entrepreneurs or small business owners, private label um, companies or businesses until a little bit later. So, what are some of the reasons why we chose to start off with Amazon FBA? Why did we start with this business? We did research a bunch of different businesses, and we felt this one. There was enough information out there. There was a lot of people claiming that that you can make pretty good money in a short period of time. So there was the time frame as well. The marketplace seemed to be pretty large. I mean, everyone kind of knows of Amazon already, and if you don't, y- uh, you are living somewhere that's very remote. But um, and that's okay, maybe, but it is a good way to possibly make some money, and it's a big marketplace. And here's some other reasons: it reaches the masses. That's kind of the big marketplace. I mean, it's in multiple countries now. U.S., of course, is still the biggest market. Um, but it kind of brings me to I remember a book I read, and it was about 5 things to kind of explode your business. But one of the things they always talked about in that book was reaching the masses, and they gave like a teacher example. So a teacher got, I mean, I've got a lot of friends, family that are teachers. They do a phenomenal job, and actually they are way, way, way underpaid for what they do. However, one of the reasons that may be tied into that, besides all that other political stuff that we won't get into. But a teacher is limited, and their income is limited because they only reach a small body of people. So, in order to have mass success or mass income or more, I don't know, what do I want to say, more uh, income generation or income that comes in whether you're working or not, um, you need to be able to reach more people than just 30 kids in a classroom. And that is one of the limitations that teachers have to their income is they cannot reach that massive market. So they give an example where there was a teacher and she was a little frustrated. She was working in inner cities and she was working her butt off, and she was having great results in that little place, but it was just so limited. Her resources were so limited, and she wanted to help a lot more people. So she just started a tutoring session online, and it just snowballed. And one thing led to another. Instead of just 30 students, she was able to now reach 30,000 students and help out a lot more kids with her expertise in teaching. And therefore, when she went from teaching 30 students to 30,000 students, her income uh, became a lot greater, but she was also fulfilled by being able to help 30,000 kids and not just the 30 kids. So all in all, altogether, the whole situation made her more alive and more successful. And she felt more successful because she was helping more people, and then the income came along with it because she was helping so much more people. So, with that, you have to be able to reach the masses to be able to create that income source that's going to be there, whether you're spending a lot of time on it or not. And with the Amazon market, we are there. We are reaching the masses. We have customer base. That's what's cool about the Amazon is it gives you a customer base that you would necessarily not have if you were just opening up. I'm pointing up the window here, but if you were just opening up a store outside my window and you can only reach that central location, now you have the ability to reach almost every person that's online on the at least in the United States. And then you have also your other markets that are opening up all the time that are already open in other countries as well as um, across the world. So that's another reason why we chose FBA. And so a couple other notes there, as you can see, it's scalable and it's automatable. So scalable, you can grow it. As it grows, you can grow it a bit larger and larger, add additional products, potentially create a brand even, and even sell that brand later on down the road. And what's good about Amazon too, what we found is it can be automatable. Now you're still going to have to be involved. There are going to have to work put in, and you're going to want to pick and choose kind of the parts that you enjoy during the process more. Maybe you like product design, maybe you like marketing, maybe you like customer service. Um, so down the road, we are going to try to make it automatable as possible, and we're going to try to implement and make it automated as possible so we can kind of keep our goal of creating a business that actually frees up your time, creates an income source, and frees up your time instead of taking a lot of your time. So, what we found is Amazon should be automatable, and we will create that or try to put those in there as far as using assistants and whatnot to run the customer service and we'll try to find different products along the way that will help make it more automatable as well. So, with that said, a little bit of stats with Prime, Amazon Prime. Well, actually, us go over that too real quick. Actually, let me introduce Amazon Prime. So, the fulfillment by Amazon didn't really take off. Kind of what I noticed in the research really didn't take off until Amazon Prime became a little bit more mainstream. And so, what is Amazon Prime? I'm sure a lot of you know it already. However, if you don't, Amazon Prime is a membership. And I'd have to go look back in my Amazon account. But I started Amazon Prime, I'm guessing probably around 2012, maybe 2013. And I remember just kind of getting some emails about it. And it was 79 bucks for a year. And it would allow 2-day shipping to a majority of the products. And then they ran back in the beginning. I mean, there was some book, if I remember correctly, if depending if you were buying a book or depending what you're buying, if you didn't choose the 2-day and you chose 3-day or longer, just regular, they gave you some bonus bucks and stuff like that. So they've kind of evolved the program along, but it wasn't until Amazon Prime really got into the mainstream that uh, the FBA part of it, where sellers came on board, and that Amazon Prime customer base is really what made this whole thing actually, to me, and looking at the research, made this whole thing kind of explode like it has over the last 3 to 4 years. So, what is Amazon Prime? And how many members are there? So yeah, the last stat I could find was actually about 83 million as of now, but 80 million as of 2017 Prime members. And so I was kind of going to why is it so important to the equation? So Amazon Prime, and I'm going to go to actually take a look. Let me bring up a browser here and let me show you. Let's see if I can bring it up. But Amazon Prime created a whole new marketplace of people that would actually pay a little bit more in price to get their products that they're shopping for delivered in a 2-day period of time. So, uh, I mean, you guys see it on Amazon all the time. You'll see a book that's for sale, and you'll see the little Amazon Prime sticker. Let me see if I can. While I'm doing this, let me see if I can bring it up. So let me stop this. I think that brings me back to live, but let me bring up a browser, and I am not sure if that cut me off, but I'm bringing up Amazon, and then let me share it. Let me go off to the side here. I'm trying to do this live, so bear with me, guys. This is my first time kind of doing all this at one time. Um, all right, so I've got up Amazon. Let me share the screen. Let me go to the application window. All right, so we've got Amazon Prime up, or Amazon. Try Prime. Look at here. All right, so actually, let me do something real quick. Let me stop this real quick. Let me log in real quick. I'm not logged in, and we won't do that online. So, all right, I'm logged in now. Let me reshare. Be right with you guys. Boom. Application window. Boom. Boom. I'm saying boom a lot. because I like to say boom. All right. All right. So here we are. We are on Amazon. Oh wow, I've spent a little bit. I've never seen this before. This little line in the middle that says, "Hi Gary, your orders spent in March." So I've only spent $46 in March so far. That's pretty good. Usually it's a lot more. All right, so um, where was I? We were talking about Amazon Prime. So as you can see with the little Prime sticker here, I don't know if you can see this. Where I'm looking at this refrigerator water filter right here, where it says Prime, 23.99. And let's go into there and let's see if we can get the sample on this. All right, this is a this is a pretty there's not a lot of use because you can't have a use filter. Um, and this is actually a already a pack that's so this is a bad example. Let's go look at books though real quick. Um, here we go, books. So we're trying to show you that how the marketing place is. Or how the Amazon Prime created this extra spread or extra profit um, based on the Amazon Prime. So you'll see books out there that are uh, well, let's go in a book here. So stop selling, start leading. Okay, we're gonna go in here. Let's see if I can get this example here. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. So, anyways, Amazon Prime hardcover is 18 bucks, but you see there is new from 27.41. This not the best example, but as you can tell with well, and actually the used is kind of right along the prime, so that is actually a pretty good prime price. All right, let me find another one here. Let me find another one that may was a good title. Don't bullshit yourself. All right, let me see. Here we go. Here we go. Here's a good example. So Strength Finders 2.0. Let me click on that one. Wow, man, I'm paying for fast internet. That was pretty slow. All right. So this is the marketplace or the extra profit market for a seller, for someone trying to create a business. This is a place, this is what Amazon kind of created with its Prime membership. So I can buy a book during Prime or for Prime and get it for 17.79. Okay. And however, right underneath, you'll see I've got 1,536 used books from 71 cents. So I can pay $17.08 more to have it in 2 days, or I can wait a little bit longer and get it for 71 cents. Now, I'm guessing there's probably some shipping involved in that. So I'm assuming that there's probably some shipping involved in that. So it's probably going to be a little bit more than that. And actually, for some reason, of course, while I'm doing this, there's a little error. Not sure why, but let me hit back here real quick. Let me Okay, well, that sucks. Because there's an error, it is not showing the details. But if you go back to that, I mean, that kind of makes my point. So 17.99 or 17.79 or 71 cents plus some shipping, I'm assuming. Um, so that is the new profit margins that Prime membership has created, and that's why it's so important, and that's what's kind of cool about the marketplace, and why we chose Amazon FBA Business to start, because there is this marketplace that has the Prime membership, and that's 80 million folks shopping that want Now that's not just the total of people shopping. That's just the Prime members. So you have this huge marketplace where people want their stuff now. Will pay a little bit extra to have it in the 2 days, and a lot extra in some cases. So if you found this book for free or for for 71 cents or a dollar, and you can put it up on Prime for 17 bucks, that's a pretty good that's a pretty good profit margin. But yet someone's putting it up for 71 cents and probably still making money. So anyways, that is why one of the reasons why we chose to use FBA, our Amazon FBA, as our first business to see if we can build it or bust it. Because there is that marketplace that will pay there's that profit margin kind of built in, and it's only going to get better and better as time goes on. All right, so some cool stats along with that. So 44% of all online shoppers shop and do Amazon searches for their products. That's kind of where they start as well. That's all online shoppers. 44% of them are at least starting in Amazon or doing some kind of searches on product searches on Amazon. So 80% of the US customer, as you can see, well, I don't have it up right now, but 80% of the US customers purchase at least one product per month from Amazon. And Amazon's share of the retail e-commerce is 43. So all e-commerce, all the stores out there, Amazon's 43.5% of of uh, of the e-commerce retail market, the whole market. So pretty good stats, pretty good market. So if you're going to try to sell something, it's a pretty good place to start off as well. So I did want to just take a look too, and I did a little bit of research on Amazon versus eBay market size, just to kind of compare those. I mean, I do have actually an eBay store, Manila Gecko 22 is what it's called, Manila Gecko. And we just do a little bit of collectibles. Anytime I want to sell, anytime I want to sell, just stuff that I'm not using anymore, my old iPhones, my old iPads, old laptops, that kind of thing. I've thrown it up there, and then we've kind of gone around, and we'll find a couple, just some things that we can find deals on, and we'll throw it up there. Um, so I want to do just kind of compare and contrast Amazon and eBay. It's not like a full time business, just some extra cash, and to get rid of your old stuff and get money off for your old stuff is kind of what I was using it for. But we have added a few more products to it, more collectibles. We went into, and it produces a little bit of income for us. Nothing crazy, but just a little bit. But that's another good marketplace. So, in looking at eBay, I found that eBay's marketplace, as far as just their users, I'm not sure if it's active users, but in 2017, at the end of the year, eBay said they had 170 million users. And Amazon total, now we had the 80 million in Prime. That's the people that want it right now, creating that extra profit margin. That they have 300 million total users, 80 million of which are in are in the Prime membership. Uh, so it's not it's a little or eBay is about a little more over half of what the market is. So it's a lot. Our Amazon is a lot bigger, and that's why we chose to go Amazon versus kind of see what we can do on eBay and on take eBay to the next level. Now eBay has created, and this is I think their second generation or third generation, an FBA type program. They call it eBay Valet. I found out, and I have never used it, but basically it's, hey, ship me your items, and we will list them for you. But they have some stringent rules. They got to be new, that kind of thing, and we'll ship them for you uh, and do it very similar. However, the fees, looking at them, depending on what size or what price the item you're selling in, the fees can get a little bit higher, is what we found too. So on average, Amazon fees are about 15%. On average, I found eBay's Valet similar program. Fees to on average be about 30 percent across the board, but they do have different tiers depending on your the price of the item. So if the item $50 and under, it's a 40% fee. If it's a 50 to 200 item, it's a 30% fee, and then if the item is over 200, it's a 20% fee. So depending on the cost of the item is the difference in the fees. So that's kind of a little bit of a kind of comparing Amazon and eBay and why we kind of honed or kind of went more towards the Amazon marketplace. All right, so with that, um, those are also pretty good, all pretty good reasons. And I'm sorry, I guys keep looking at the camera here. Those are all pretty good reasons to start Amazon over at least eBay and some of the other business we found out there. But I want to kind of go over and finalize everything with kind of a timeline that I found pretty helpful. I can't remember where I found it. I think the guy's name was Bo something, but it's kind of a timeline or a timeline of Amazon just to kind of give you its evolution from when it started FBA, or actually when it started, it was, I don't know if you guys remember that, but when it started, eBay was just a bookstore, I used books. And then as it became more and more profitable, it just kind of kept adding more and more products. And now it's adding grocery stores because it bought Whole Foods. And I mean, it has cloud services. It has music storage. It's got its own TV system, and it's got its phones, and you've got the Fire Stick. So it's kind of you got Alexa. So it's kind of just kept bringing more and more cool products on. Well, some people say they're cool. Some people, everyone has their own opinion, but it's brought more and more services on, kind of where it's been. It is today, but back, and I'm just going to kind of go back to FBA. FBA, remember, started in 2006. And let me bring this timeline up actually. So so you guys can see this while I'm talking and get my face out of there. Oh, there we go. All right, so this is a timeline that I found online that was kind of interesting. Like I said, 2006, FBA started. It was mostly directed, though, at that point. It really wasn't directed to other online small businesses. It was more of a brick and mortar business, small brick and mortar business that they can put their products up on Amazon and get a little bit more sales for their business, but online. So it kind of gave them an online track, but all the marketing and everything kind of went towards those small brick and mortar businesses. So 2006 to 2011, that whole time was kind of the small businesses, and it really didn't take off that much because during that time, and everyone's kind of trying to create their own websites and own online strategies to kind of have a mix of brick and mortar and online. So it really didn't take off. So now FBA 2012 came. FBA started to become a little bit more popular. And that's kind of when I think that's when I started. I don't even know if I heard of for sale by or fulfillment by Amazon then, but that's kind of when I found out about Prime. So I'm assuming because Prime started becoming so popular then, that's why FBA started to get a little bit more popular because you had those extra profit margins kind of built in. And actually a lot of eBay sellers saw this as well and started moving to FBA and trying to do both marketplaces. And with the Prime membership and the extra profits potentially made, they actually were making a little bit more money. And I'm sure you've probably heard this, and if you haven't, but eBay shopper mentality is I found out there, and I've kind of noticed this too, and just for my own shopping. When I go to Amazon, I will look for maybe more newer name brand products, and trying to get a good deal on them. Don't get me wrong, always trying to pay the lowest price myself when I'm shopping. I'm actually kind of a shopper. I'm not, and actually I get made fun of because my wife always makes fun of me. Just buy something. But I usually spend, I'll spend probably a whole day if I'm making a big purchase. I'll try to find the lowest price, no taxes, lowest amount of shipping, and I will try to search and find that online store. And then actually, once I found that, I'll go online and try to find coupons or try to maximize. I'm kind of a little crazy like this, but then I try to maximize my percentage back that I'm going to get. So I'll go to like a coupon cabin or a Ebates and try to maximize my cash back that I'll get on top of the credit card I'm going to buy it with. I'll maximize that because some of my credit cards give me extra points for shopping at different stores. So, anyways, I'm trying to get the lowest price possible. So I get kind of made fun of in my family because I take so long to buy something. But I know after the research, got the best product, lowest price, most cash back, and I'm happy. But with that said, I don't even know where I'm going here. But so, anyways, yeah. So FBA. Yeah, so the difference of the markets or the shoppers, and then I would go to eBay. So eBay would be my next step. Usually, I start off with Amazon, and eBay does have a new marketplace as well. But I'll go there to see if I can find a new one. And that's kind of where I try to go to find it cheaper because you have the auction still, and then but you also have people that buy it now, but they're just trying to liquidate it or sell it quickly because they probably got it at a cheap price. So I can potentially find it at a cheaper price. So typically online, it's known that eBay has shoppers that are looking for a bargain most off, whereas Amazon has become, hey, I know I can get it in 2 days. I'm okay to pay a little extra price for it, therefore creating that profit margin for sellers. Um, so uh, as the eBay sellers started to head over to FBA, as it became a little bit more popular for just the entrepreneur to start up their own business in 2013, it was all about arbitrage, the retail arbitrage. So, and this was before some restrictions have come in from Amazon as well. So I do remember in 2014 getting some videos, 2013, 14, getting some videos from in my email about uh, Amazon arbitrage and how people are making money on Amazon or pretty good money on Amazon arbitrage. And so all that is, if for those of you that don't know, actually, let me take a sip of coffee real quick because I'm losing my voice. As you can tell, I don't talk like this a lot. I'm not the talker. I'm more the mind guy. And Will and Christian will tell you that as well. So when I'm talking this long, I lose my voice. All right. So with Amazon arbitrage, for those that don't know what it is, it's basically going to bookstores, garage sales, clearance sections in Walmart, clearance sections in your grocery store. One that has a really good clearance, one in our area is called Myers grocery store. And they have a great clearance section, a lot of toys on clearance. So you could, Toys R Us, is another one that you can get some good clearance on. So it's basically just buying low, selling high, but finding something on clearance and then throwing up on Amazon because of the marketplace that's there. Maybe it's not a clearance item there, and it's still getting that full price because people want it in a couple days, don't have to go to the store, et cetera, et cetera. Anyways, so that's arbitrage. So people were buying these items, looking at garage sales, looking at bookstores or libraries for book closing and putting the books up there. And actually, there are people doing it right now, and there's people still doing it right now and still making a great amount of money and have systems in place where they're making good money. However, um, there have been some things that I've researched or that I found where, and we'll take a look at this. So Amazon has kind of limited your ability to put brand name products up there, is what I found. Because you're not an authorized reseller of that brand name. Therefore, they've gated some of those brands. So, from what I found too, though, it is looking like you can, and there are ways to set up your business to work with authorized resellers, suppliers, manufacturers to potentially just sell brand names. And that's one of the strategies that looks like it may have, that looks like it's gaining a little bit of steam out there on the interwebs. and some of the training that I've kind of researched and kind of have yet to look at. But it is how to unlock certain brand names and just be able to sell brand names. So that is another strategy, and it's uh, kind of picking up some steam late 2017, early 2018, which it is right now. So after arbitrage 2014, white label, private label. Kind of the same thing. So you're basically working with a manufacturer that makes an established product, but they're allowing you to label it yourself or put your own brand to it. Has is started gaining some momentum as arbitrage was doing spot on, but retail arbitrage, it is. So it's. I mean, if you have the time to go out and go to all the from what I saw, arbitrage kind of hit a peak, but certain business owners were finding it hard to scale. So it wasn't as scalable as they first thought because they have to keep going out, finding the items, and how do you keep going out, month after month, week after week, trying to find the items that are on sale or on clearance or at a garage sale. So it's a little bit more difficult to keep finding good products to maintain that level of income. So they were seeing incomes kind of going up and down depending on when they could find good clearance items. So that's where in 2014, 2015, there were some new things coming out in arbitrage, and then also the private label and white label started to gain some momentum. So in end of 2015, there were some sites out there created, and I found a couple of them. There was Tactical Arbitrage. What was the other one? Anyways, I'll get you that. I'll get you that other one if I can find it. But there's so what happened 2015, 2016 is okay. How since all the stores out there now put all their inventory online, how can I find this clearance inventory? So you're kind of doing retail arbitrage online. So it's online arbitrage. So now there's companies out there that created some software that could go shop every other site out there, your Walmart, your Myers, your Toys R Us, your Target, what else? And they would shop the online sites looking for products that are selling on Amazon at one price, but yet are marked clearance at another marketplace. And so you were able to actually put those orders in, and or they would research all the software, kind of or all the websites with the software, and in the morning you would have a list of maybe, I don't know, 500 products that you knew based on what they're selling for on the retail site to put what they're selling at on the Amazon site. You have a built-in profit margin. I can buy 100 of these products for $5 and they're selling for on Amazon for $20. So I've spent $500 with the potential to make $2,000. So it's a good buy. So you would actually purchase all those products on the website, have it shipped to your house, label them up, put your stickers on them, send them to Amazon, or there are third party, which we'll get into. This is it's kind of crazy. A whole businesses have been created out of this business. So there are third party packaging companies that will actually you just ship it to their location. They put the stickers on it. They package it to Amazon guidelines. You pay them a small bit, 20 cents, 50 cents a package, or 50 cents an item, and they'll do all that for you, giving you more time freedom. Talking about the automative, that's kind of what we found. That's kind of a cool thing, but it helps you keep automated if you don't have the time. But if you have the time, bringing it to your house, maximizing your profits, you doing it, that is fine as well. So that was tactical arbitrage. Tactical arbitrage is, I think, just do a search of tactical arbitrage. But I believe that has a free trial and you can try it out. And there are people who are making money, and there's trainings out there right now online of people making money doing tactical arbitrage, and that's still going strong too. You just got to be careful with the brand names and kind of make sure that you are not gated and you can show sales in those. from what I know. We'll find this out. We're gonna try. We're gonna try all ways. We're gonna try tactical arbitrage. We're going to try retail arbitrage. I'm going to go out there with either Christian or Will. We're going to go out, look for clearance items. I mean, it can be done no matter which way you do it, depending on what your time you want to put into it, or the time you got to put into it. Uh, you can kind of choose any way you want to do it. We just want to see which way maybe could be the best possible way. Is it a combination? Is it just doing private label? Is it doing the arbitrage, retail arbitrage? We'll find out. We're gonna find out. But this is just kind of some of the information I found online. So wholesaling, yeah. So now at 2016 tactical arbitrage, people are still doing it, making money. Now wholesaling is a little bit more scalable. That is another method. And wholesale and private label. Well, wholesaling is well. Let me go into that a little bit. So wholesaling, and I'm sorry, I'm kind of reading my notes again for the first time since I put these out. But wholesaling is kind of what you're basically becoming a middleman. So hopefully you can get as close to the manufacturer as possible. Sometimes you'll be working directly with the manufacturer. Sometimes you'll have an intermediary, and they send it to a distribution center. So you'll be working with the distributor. But what's good about wholesaling, had started up in 2016, is you don't have to go out there and you don't have to find the store. You're not spending the time shopping uh, in the retail stores or looking product, using tactical arbitrage, and you're not spending time kind of in the software looking for those. Wholesaling is basically find some products that meet the profit targets that make sense, and then you try to find a company that's either working directly with a manufacturer or you're working with a supplier, and you put them up online. But you just got to make sure that you have those ungated, and we'll go into that a little bit further down the line. But wholesaling has become a little bit more popular, and then in 2017, private label has kind of come full circle and has become one of the most popular. Looks like it's become one of the most popular ways to sell on Amazon. So with private label, um, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at products that are already selling on Amazon or other marketplaces. I mean, it could be Etsy, it could be eBay, but products that we know we can see provable results and sales. And we're going to take a look at those sales, and we're going to look at the competition, and we are going to look at what the consumers are saying about that product. So if it's making a certain amount of good money, um, and the market doesn't look saturated, but yet the reviews maybe aren't as good as they could be, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that product. We're going to look through the reviews and find out how we can improve that product. How can we make that product a little bit better? How could we enhance that product, and sell it more at a premium price and give them a more premium experience and performance, hopefully. So that is your private label. And with that, along with it, you could potentially create brand creation. And that's kind of what's happened in 2017. That's kind of become, and later on down the road, once we get into each one of these, we'll kind of go into a little bit more detail on each one of these and show you examples of some private label versus tactical arbitrage versus retail arbitrage, and we'll hit each one. But that has become very popular, and a very good way to make money through the Amazon platform. And eventually down the road, you'll also get potentially to create a brand. So can we just do it with one product, but can we do it with another similar product that's in the same category? Can we do that and create a whole brand that potentially maybe could sell later on down the road? And so I did find a couple examples of some training out there that's on YouTube, where that was done by a couple. And I think they started in 2015 with a couple product, maybe just one product. And then I haven't watched the whole thing, but I mean, their claimer was uh, 2015 started late 2015, and late 2017 they were able to sell their brand with a multiple product line of 4 to 5 products for the tunes of a seven figure return. So something we want to delve into, and then we're going to be building. But that is all possible right now with private label and brand creation. So we'll go into that as well. And I'm saying as well enough. So when I say as well, everyone's got to take a drink of their coffee. But as I said, getting used to it, talking like this, and I can tell I'm kind of at my limit because my voice is disappearing. So 2018, one other thing we're going to be looking into is brand name, how to potentially sell in all brand name categories and just doing wholesaling in combination with private label. That kind of piqued my interest. I saw a training the other day where potentially just selling brand names, I'm saying potentially a lot too. Maybe that's another drinking game. Potentially and as well. When I say those two things, you guys got to take a sip of coffee or whatever beverage you have in your hand. If you don't have a beverage in your hand, you got to go into the kitchen or wherever you hold your beverages and get a beverage so you can play along. All right, so yeah, so that's we're gonna hit all that. So, anyways, that's some things I found online that I thought would be pretty helpful for people. Also helpful for me for getting my ability to share this knowledge with the masses as I'm looking at that word. Um, and as we go through this process of trying to see if this Amazon FBA is something we can build, turn into an income source without kind of the super waste or super, I don't want to say waste, it wouldn't be a waste of time because you're always learning, but see if it is a very time burdensome business, or can we set it up where it's automatable, still have the time to do what we want to do, but yet make income on a simpler basis and massive income, not just a limited income as well. Therefore, I said as well. One more drink to everyone today. But yeah, this is Gary Lloyd with Revenue Busters signing out. Hope you guys enjoyed this. As we said, we're not going to do any polishing of the video or editing because we don't have time. So we're just kind of bringing this live to you unedited. Apologize for any of the as wells and the potentialities, but we're getting better. This helped me, so hopefully it helped you, and we'll talk to you later.